So I'm curious, as you're consulting with clients and even as you develop your own counsel for your company, what role does your legal team play in helping you guide these discussions about which organizations or enterprise solutions to work with, and to start, because there isn't a lot of case law on this, right? It's not
Mm.
like there's established 25 years of here's what happens when there's a dispute. So, do you actively engage the legal teams for your clients? Do you have a legal team that is helping answer these questions with or for you, or is this something that really is outside expertise, and you wouldn't necessarily have an in-house attorney who'd even be able to guide these conversations?
Yeah, we don't currently have in-house legal capability, so we do work with legal partners. One of the reasons why I made reference to the legal point was because we're actively working through, what could the implications for our master services agreements be with our clients, and what do we need to think in terms of data protection, data processing, and what that means within the UK concept of GDPR, which is maintaining data protection. So I think understanding what the flow down of contracts looks like is going to be important, particularly obviously from a liability perspective, if there is any breach or release of data or proprietary IP. But I think we're certainly still fairly early in that. Um, yeah.
And can you walk us through your, at least how you think about it when an AI tool is developing something net new? So taking all of your data and then coming up with recommendations or coming up with efficiencies. As far as I'd be concerned, that's my proprietary solution. And let's say it does come up with a new product, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I would want the ownership of that. But is there any potential dispute that if a large language model built off of ChatGPT or some other solution,
Yeah.
or even if it was a vendor's solution, that they have some ownership over that because it was their tool, not your intellectual capability that developed it? I mean, is this a gray area, or is this not been explored yet?
I think I take a slightly different lens to it. I think one of the things that the question assumes is that if there's data or a product that's produced by proxy of AI, that it's a complete product. And I think one of the things that we're talking about a lot at the moment is the continued necessity for having the human in the loop, so to speak. From our software engineer, and I speak about this, but we're talking about it actively at the moment. We're very encouraging of software engineers, quality assurance engineers, platform engineers in using AI, as a supplement to their work. But actually, the eye for quality, the eye for refinement, the understanding of what's being produced by the AI, has to be that of the engineer. And I think that obviously what that does create is a very grey area because you have some IP that could have been created by an AI model, and that could have been contributed to or complemented by the human in the loop. So at that point, there's almost a split ownership of the content that's produced. But again, I think we are still very early in this curve. I think that will be worked out. But I think and I would want to emphasise that point. One of the things that we talk about a lot, both internally as a business at Answer and with our customers, is this nascent fear that AI is going to replace people, and almost that lack of certainty or that uncertainty that supports that. You know that contributes just as significantly to the hype cycle as the emergency of the technology itself. And certainly I think we as consultants in the digital transformation space, there is just as much importance, not just in the output of what you create when you're working with customers, regardless of their context. There's just as much in the understanding, the human understanding of organizational, political, technological relationship, um, political context that comes with the nature of the work that we do, that actually, whilst AI might provide a tool to develop efficiency, the real core skills of what brings success to, for example, digital transformation projects is for me not AI. It will still be the value of the person and what that person can bring.